Okay, this is such a bad quality picture, but whatever. Okay, so here's that's gonna be the map, right? This is the continent where everyone is playing on the server. Like if you're in that server, you're gonna be in this area. There's no sharding, no nothing. And the reason why sharding can't happen is because these regions, they can be controlled by a faction. There's 3 factions, right? We have the Marauders, the Syndicate, and the Covenant. And the way you control an area is by doing quests in that area while having PvP turned on. It's kind of like war mode in WoW, right? So let's say this area here is being controlled by the Syndicate, and let's say you want to like attack this area as with the Covenant. So the way you want to do this, or the way you can do it, is by Covenant players can go into the region and they need to do quests in that region while having PvP turned on. Now, obviously if there would be sharding, then that would be horrible, because that wouldn't work. Because the way you defend your region as the Syndicate is by killing the Covenant people that have PvP turned on, right? Like, you need to defend your area by killing the people that try to attack it. And if you're divided, like if I'm a Syndicate and I'm trying to defend my area, but I don't see the Covenant players because they're in a different shard, then that obviously doesn't work, right? So sharding can't, like, you just can't do it with the way New World works. Sharding is just not a thing, right? It's impossible. I mean, it is possible, but it would be horrible. Once you have actually successfully attacked a region, right? So let's say the Covenant managed to enter this region and they attacked it by doing enough quests while PvP being on, then you can declare war. So the Covenant is declaring war on the Syndicate, and the way that works is that it will schedule a war, usually like in the next day. So that means, so we declared war, next day at 2 p.m. there's going to be a war. And until tomorrow, people can queue up for the war, or they can sign up. So let's say I'm signing up for the war, and right before the war, the war leader, the person that declared the war, they can choose the players that are going to join the war from the list of people that queued up for the war. So if there's like 200 people that queued up for the war, or that signed up, then you're gonna pick 50 out of those 200 people to join the war, right? And if you have a server capacity of 20,000, then there's gonna be like thousands of people that queue up for a war or sign up, which would be a bit like, that would be too much. You wouldn't be able to to ever play, which obviously sucks. And then some people were saying, wait, so there's only like one war happening at a time? And yeah, the answer is yes. There's only going to be one war per region, because otherwise it wouldn't work. You cannot have multiple wars for the same region at the same time, because depending on who wins, the region will control the area afterwards, right? So if the Covenant attacks the Syndicate and the Covenant wins, then the Covenant will control the area afterwards. So you cannot have multiple wars happening, otherwise you don't know who actually owns the area afterwards, right? So that doesn't work. So there can only be one war. Come here. Hey! Stop fighting back! These guys are fighting back, can you imagine? Okay, wait for this. I remember this from beta, and this was so cool. Like, look how awesome it looks like, right? It looks pretty amazing, right? So pretty. Look at that. Oh, you can actually skip the tutorial? Oh well, whatever. It's fine. We just play it. We are here! Alright, now we have to go and investigate the shipwreck and defeat Drowned. Sure, let's kill some Drowned. I should have read the leveling guide while I was in queue. I messed up. Lol, noob. What the hell? I swear to God, I missed the guy because he was on the floor. So I do have to aim downwards when they're lying on the floor. I'm actually starting in first light. The Syndicate is controlling Brightwood. But it's fine, as long as we get Everfall and Monarch's Bluff. It's fine, right? I think, okay, so I still am not sure how I'm gonna level. I don't think I wanna like super rush level. What do you guys do? Because, okay, so the reason why I don't wanna rush level is because I kinda wanna do professions. I know it's weird, because I'm usually not a profession kind of person. But in this game, I kind of like professions. It's kind of fun. Perfect. We cooked the food. Armor case, poggers, cooking level 1. Alright, opening this. Open. Ooh. Wait, how do I equip again? Oh, double click. That's a downgrade. Why are you giving me downgrades, Nora? I'm cooking shit for you and you're giving me downgrades? Alright, I see how it is, Nora. Flagship manifest, flagship lock. Wait. Oh my goodness, I pulled a lot of Oh my. Holy fuck. Dude, they just got destroyed, dude. This Q ability is so good for AoE. Did you see that? Can you still not swim, by the way? I'm gonna test it out. I'm testing it. Come on, swim! 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 Really? Hopefully this game kills WoW. Why do you hope for a game to die? Why don't you just want the game to succeed without another game dying? Think about this. Think about it. Why don't you just want New World to succeed? Why does it have to also kill WoW at the same time? Think about it. That's a little bit of a negative way of thinking, you know what I'm saying?
I did not mind you too. You know who you should speak.
I don't want a shield. I'm just gonna salvage this. Salvage, 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 salvage. Oh no, wait. Ha! Ha! I dropped it on accident. Oh no. I pressed the wrong button. Oh my god, thank god no one picked it up. I actually like full fantasy games. I mean, obviously I'm playing WoW and Final Fantasy, so... But it's definitely a bit refreshing to see something that is like super realistic, right? Because obviously this game is like from the graphics and stuff, this game is amazing. It's so realistic. And sometimes you see something that looks almost like in a cinematic or something, you know? And that's pretty cool. Nah, dodged. I should level my axe. I haven't done that. Okay, so what do I usually go with? Usually go with charge, execute, and whirlwind? I shouldn't do this because... whatever, I'm doing it. I don't need abilities. Holy shit, there's all the wolves! Dude, this guy is just looting while I'm killing all the wolves! Mister! Man, look at this guy! Doing all the work and he's just fucking sitting there harvesting. Dude! This guy! Now we just need to find some iron because I'm not seeing anything. Usually it's close to these like bigger boulders. Did those wolves just kill a person? Wait, they just killed somebody. Oh no! I kind of hope it was the person that skinned all of my wolves earlier. Somebody just wished me to join the syndicate. No, no, no. We're not joining the syndicate. Have you not seen my shirt? It would be really funny if I just randomly join a different faction now. After saying I'm gonna go Covenant. I don't want to do that because I'm just gonna get farmed. I'm gonna get corpse camped.
Of righteousness in this one?
Wait, going back. This is Covenant, right? Yeah, okay.
We protect the spark.
We protect. Covenant. Confirm. Yes.
As a new member of yes, we are all tested every day. And soon enough, the corruption will
Perfect.
come. And here I will stay.
Yes, we're in future now. Let's go. Let's go. I finally managed to join my company. The really cool thing about the crafting here is that if you want to craft 50 of something, then it doesn't take like 50 times the amount of time. That is really nice, because that's really annoying in other games. I was like, it's like, come on, dude. Stand there for an hour. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a lot of campfires. People don't know that you can just... People in this game don't understand that you can just bind your... Like, look. So this is not my camp, right? But if I press E, now it's my camp. Like, you don't need to craft your own camp. You can just use someone else's. But a lot of people don't know. So they're just binding themselves to random camps. Dude, the syndicate is going ham. What's going on? I believed in now. I believed in now. I thought he's gonna carry our server. But apparently he's losing to the syndicate. The hell? Well, at least we have Windsword and Everfall. That's pretty important. But not having Monarch's Bluff is kind of like... that would be pretty nice to have, you know? I'm actually playing on low quality in case you're wondering why everything doesn't look so great. Yeah. It's because I'm playing with everything on low quality, but because my PC sucks. There's housing, yeah. But the way it works is that like multiple people can own the same house. Like for example, this house here, right? It costs 7,500. And multiple people can own this house. And depending on which house you enter, you'll see what it looks like, you know? You can like enter each house. And you can decorate it, you can buy like furniture and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And if you have a house, you can also teleport to your house if you're somewhere else from wherever you want. We need to. Can we stop calling other MMOs the WoW killer? Whenever there has been an MMO that got released for the last 15 years, every single MMO they have been calling it a WoW killer. When we all know that the only WoW killer is Blizzard. Okay? So, stop calling other games WoW killers. Alright, MMO is the chosen one. Yeah, but like even if the right MMO is like really good, which I think it will. Like I think the right MMO has huge potential, like huge. But even so, if WoW is doing really well during that time, then they're still gonna have a hard time, I think. Like, because WoW is just such an old MMO that people are so attached to that every other MMO is gonna have a really hard time to take people away from them unless they're really smart about their release, I think. Like, I think there has to be like two things that need to happen for another game to be successful. Number one, the MMO that it gets released needs to be really, really good, obviously. And number 2, WoW needs to be in a bad spot. Which, I mean, at the moment, WoW is in a really bad spot for a long time. But, which is a great time to release another MMO, right? Like New World. But yeah, so when Riot releases their MMO, I think they also, like, if it would be a similar situation, that would be great. Like, it needs to, like, everything needs to fit, you know? Like, WoW needs to have, like, a bad, like, or a downtime even, that works too. And the other game needs to be really... I guess it's hard to compare New World, though, to WoW, because New World is completely different, so... I don't think you can necessarily compare the two games. Comparing something like Final Fantasy XIV to World of Warcraft, that makes sense, because they're both very similar. In, like, the fight style, they're both very similar with, like... a lot of things. But when you compare New World, it's like, yeah, can you really compare that? You know, it's like, everything about it is just different. There's barely any similarities at all. I mean, they're both MMOs, but that's about it. So, I guess it's hard to compare the two. Kinda bad if the only way an MMO can reach the top is by tearing down another. I mean, it doesn't have to be like tearing down. The problem with MMOs is the fact that MMOs are probably the most time-intensive games that exist, right? Like if you compare it to something like a MOBA or like a shooter, a battle royale, like all of these kind of games, they can be time intensive if you want to be really good, right? If you want to practice a lot and you play a lot, then you have to of course play a lot, but you can still just play a little casually, and it's not super time intensive, right? If you play something like League of Legends or Warzone or, you know, Valorant or whatever, then you can just play once in a while. I mean, you're not going to be the best player in the world, probably, if you do that, but you can still enjoy it anyway. But when it comes to something like an MMO, I feel like to enjoy it, you do have to play a decent amount, especially since a lot of MMOs have, like, weekly subscriptions.
Welcome to the Naguura show.
So, if you're only going to play it super casually, then it's going to be, like, you know, paying a monthly subscription and then you only pay like an hour a week is kind of like me. So it's definitely a pretty big time commitment. And barely anyone wants to commit to 2 MMOs at the same time. Like, that's really only something like a streamer can do, you know? Like, me as a streamer, I can play 2 MMOs, but... yeah, like, any, like, person... Oh, there's a turkey nest! Oh, that's kind of mean, but I'm still taking it. But yeah, any, like, you know, any person that doesn't work in, like, the gaming industry, that plays games for a living, or that actually is like a job that, you know, doesn't involve them play video games, then you're gonna have a hard time keeping up to MMOs, right? So at that point, you kind of are directly comparing MMOs to one another.